Thousands of people disappeared at the exact same time. No screams, no escape, no trace. It's like they were never here. There are stories in history that are difficult to explain, and then there are stories that were never meant to be explained at all. This is one of them. Imagine a city, not a small village, not a temporary settlement, but a powerful, thriving center of life. Stone structures built to last centuries, markets filled with voices, temples where rituals were performed daily, children running through narrow streets, fires burning at night. This was a place full of life, a place that should have left a permanent mark on history, but it didn't, because one day it vanished. No warning, no battle, no signs of destruction, just gone. When explorers first rediscovered the site long after its disappearance, they expected ruins shaped by time and decay. But what they found felt wrong, unnaturally wrong. The city was still there, the buildings still stood, the streets still connected, the walls still held their shape. It looked preserved, as if time had simply stopped. But the people were nowhere to be found. Not a single body, not a single grave, not a single sign of struggle. It was as if thousands of people had been erased from existence in a single moment. At first, historians turned to logic. They always do. Perhaps there was a war, an invasion, but that theory didn't survive long. There were no weapons scattered across the ground, no damage to the structures, no evidence of fire or violence. Then came the theory of disease, a deadly outbreak that forced everyone to flee. But again, something didn't add up, because when people run from disease, they take what they can: food, tools, supplies. But here, everything was left behind. Inside homes, objects remained untouched. Clay pots still sat where they had been placed. Tools rested exactly where they had last been used. In some areas, evidence suggested that meals had been prepared, but never eaten. Think about that. People don't abandon their lives in the middle of a normal day unless something interrupts them. Something immediate, something powerful. And yet, no one knows what that something was. As researchers studied the site more closely, new details began to emerge. And instead of answers, they only made the mystery deeper. Footprints. In certain areas, faint traces of human movement were found. But they didn't lead out of the city. They simply stopped, as if the people walking there had never reached their destination, as if they had disappeared mid-step. This is where the story begins to shift from history to something far more unsettling. Local legends, passed down through generations, speak of a night unlike any other, a night when the sky changed. Some describe a strange glow above the city. Others speak of a sound low, constant, almost like a vibration. Animals became restless. Birds disappeared from the sky. And then came the silence. A silence so deep that people could hear their own heartbeat. And after that night, no one was ever seen again. Skeptics argue that these are just stories, exaggerations created over time. But what makes them difficult to ignore is how closely they match the physical evidence. Because nothing in the city suggests a gradual decline. There are no signs of long-term abandonment, no slow decay of civilization. Everything points to one terrifying possibility. Whatever happened, happened fast. Too fast for escape, too fast for reaction. So fast that people didn't even have time to understand what was happening. There are those who believe the answer lies in nature. A sudden, invisible disaster, perhaps a toxic gas release, something that moved silently through the streets, something that left no visible trace. But if that were true, where are the bodies? Others suggest something even more extreme, a phenomenon we don't fully understand, a shift in the environment, a break in reality itself. Because similar cases exist, not many, but enough to raise questions. Ancient settlements in different parts of the world, all showing the same pattern: occupied, and then suddenly empty. No transition, no explanation, just absence. And then there is the theory that most people are uncomfortable with. The idea that the city wasn't abandoned, but taken. Some researchers believe that ancient civilizations may have encountered forces far beyond their understanding. Forces that left no physical damage, but removed life itself. It sounds impossible, but so does a city disappearing without a trace. There is another detail that is often overlooked. Something subtle, but deeply disturbing. In many of these sites, doors were not closed. They were left open. Think about that. If people were fleeing danger, they would run. If they had time, they would secure their homes. But here, it's as if they never made the choice to leave. As if they didn't leave at all. Modern technology has only made things more complicated. Ground-penetrating scans have revealed structures beneath the visible city. Older layers, forgotten foundations, which suggests something even more unsettling. This may not have been the first time something like this happened. What if the city had already been rebuilt once before, after a previous disappearance? What if this place has a history of being erased? And if that's true, then the question is no longer what happened. The question becomes, why here? Why this place? Even today, researchers who visit these locations report strange experiences. Unexplained sounds echoing through empty streets, sudden drops in temperature, a feeling of being watched, even when completely alone. Some describe it as a presence, not something visible, but something aware, as if the city itself remembers what happened and refuses to let it be forgotten. History is filled with lost civilizations, but most of them leave behind evidence of their fall. War, collapse, disaster. This one didn't fall. It didn't collapse. It didn't decay. It simply stopped, and whatever caused it left everything else untouched, which leads to one final unsettling thought. If something powerful enough to erase an entire city once existed, what's stopping it from happening again? Maybe it already has. Maybe there are other places, hidden, forgotten, waiting, because some mysteries are not meant to be solved, and some cities are not meant to be found.